Well, welcome home, dear. Did you have a good day at work? You know, Betsy told me that her husband got a promotion. That leaves an opening at the head of the department, darling. And I think you would be a perfect candidate, don't you? What on earth is wrong? Why do you keep looking at me like that? Oh, I know. I'm sorry, darling. I almost forgot your martini. Here you are. Shaken, not stirred. I know how you say shaking bruises the gin. Really, though, dearest, is everything all right? You're looking a little, well, confused. I hope you're feeling all right. I really need you to be feeling all right. Because, well, the truth is, I know you said I shouldn't, but I may have interfered a teensy-weensy little itsy bit with your work and invited your boss and his wife over for dinner tonight. Oh, but don't you worry about a thing. I'll have everything prepared in time. For appetizers, I have salmon mousse canapé and shrimp cucumber canapés. Then there's buttery onion soup, and for dinner, Hawaiian ham with pineapple and creamed spinach and green beans almondine. And of course, I couldn't forget your favorite, chocolate chiffon pie for dessert. You know, as an apology for interfering, and a desperate bid for your forgiveness after you've gotten this big promotion. Darling? Darling, is everything all right? You haven't said a word since you've gotten home, and you just keep looking around the house. Is something out of place? I promised you I used the new Vaculux you got me for my birthday to suck all the dust up from the carpets to the drapes. You won't find a speck in the house when your boss gets here if that's what you're worried about. Now, be a darling, husband, and turn on the fireplace for when they get here. I'm just going to go into the kitchen and... Oh, what's that? Not my husband. Well, then why have I been ironing your boxers? And how on earth did I get these kids that look just like you? I'll have to check my receipt and see if I can still return them if they're not yours. Say, do you suppose I could get some kids that look like Cary Grant? Maybe he's my husband, huh? Again with the I am not your husband. You really are a card sometimes. That's why I love you. But really, honestly, now it's time to quit playing games. Now you go get ready. Come on now. Chop, chop. Wait, what? Honey. I need you to slow down. I can't understand what you're saying when you're all worked up like this. All right, I'll bite. You're not my husband. So, who are you really then? Never heard of him. But if he's anything like my husband, he should be getting changed about now. My goodness, you really are unwell today, aren't you? Let me feel your head. Do you feel feverish? No? Well, do you remember hitting your head? How many fingers am I holding up? You know, I heard of something like this happening to that young Stevens couple down the street. Her husband once started saying that he wasn't her husband. Of course, none of us believed him. We could all see that he was the same person he'd always been. Though, I will admit there was something a little strange about him from that day on. Something about the jaw didn't seem right. But you know how strange those two always are. I get all sorts of reports of queerness from Gladys, who lives right across the street from them. Huh. Come to think of it, she did the same thing once and told me she wasn't Gladys. She's a card. Oh, and you know what? The foreman's daughter Lori did that as well. And don't even get me started on how often Selena Kyle has said that. Oh, she's a funny one. But, darling, really, the joke is getting old. And we do have company on the way, and I haven't even put the maraschino cherries on the ham yet. So, can we please stop joking? Really, darling? Really? Really, truly? Really, truly, honestly? Are you sure? Well, I believe that you believe it. Oh, honestly, this is awful timing, dear. We can't let your boss see you like this. It will ruin everything. Oh, what to do, what to do. I've got it. The perfect plan. We just say that you've been made the lead singer of the church choir, and the director has asked you to rest your voice, that you're at your best on Sunday. Anything your boss wants to know, I can answer. Well, all right, Buster, if that's such a bad idea, what have you got that's better? What do you mean we don't have to worry about it? Of course I have to worry about it. He's going to cancel. Why on earth would he do that? Huh. Hello? This is she? Oh, hello, Mrs. McGillicuddy. It's so good to hear from you. Are you calling for directions? Oh. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, no. Don't you worry about us. With 3 boys in the house, this food will not go to waste, I promise you that. I just hope your husband feels better soon. All right, Mrs. McGillicuddy, thank you for calling and letting us know. Take care now. Bye-bye, Mrs. McGillicuddy. That was Mrs. McGillicuddy. She said her husband was in an accident. He got his thumb stuck in a bowling ball he insisted was the right size. Now tell me, how on earth could you have known that something so ridiculous would happen? Darling, you didn't somehow play a prank on your boss, did you? Because I have to say, I don't think it's at all funny if you did. You may have risked this promotion that you didn't know that you were up for. Really now, then how did you know this would happen? Show? What show? I don't know what you're talking about. Reruns? Well, now you've gone from making little sense to none at all. So you're saying there's a show based on me? Why would there be a show based on me? Antics? I don't get into antics. I just get into awkward situations, and I come up with creative solutions. Although, I am awfully cute, so I can see why some people would want to watch me. But still, I don't get into antics. If you somehow found yourself in what was it you called it? A sitcom show? Well, yes, if that's what happened here, then tell me, what is this sitcom show called? Life is a Dreamy. You've got to be kidding. That's awful. Oh, I don't know. Maybe ho-hums and dum-dums? No, because my day is kind of boring, actually. That would be the ho-hum. And then you come home, and All right, all right. I'm not saying you're a dum-dum, though you have your moments. I will admit, you do seem more clever today than you usually are, even if you are completely mad. Just my luck. The day my husband finds his senses, he loses his marbles. So, how did you get here anyway, and why? Well, if you don't know, then how do you know that you're not actually my husband? All right, well then how did you get here? Did you go to sleep and wake up here? Did you get hit on the head? Well, yes, of course I keep coming back to you being hit on the head. You have to admit, it does sound like a very likely reason for all of this. Would you like me to give you a little conk and see if we can set you straight? Well, all right then. Don't say I didn't try to help. Well, let me ask you something. Do you have another wife back wherever you came from? Am I sharing you with another woman, just like my husband is sharing you with me? All right, then. Well, do you suppose maybe it wouldn't be so bad to stay here? I mean, after all, I am cute enough to warrant my own sitcom show. What do you say? Would you agree to be my lawfully wedded husband? From this day forward, in... what did you call them? Yes, in reruns ever after. All righty then. Why don't you go put your slippers on? I'll go take care of those maraschino cherries. Oh, and try not to hit your head while I'm gone. I like this version of you. You're cute. Crazy, but cute. Back in a tick, darling. Hey there, cupcakes. I hope you enjoyed that one. That one was fun to write. That one went very quickly, and that was just a silly, stupid script that I had so much fun with. And it came out of a conversation with Forces, where he said something about being pulled out of time, 1950s TV character, and getting them up to date on today's tropes and sensibilities, like titling it "Teaching Ralph Cramden Not to Be a C-Word to His Wife." And I'd already been kind of mulling over doing isekai stories, but so many of them are being transported into like a licensed universe. So I didn't want to use somebody else's characters. I did a little bit, but I don't want to port people into an anime or a movie or a game or what have you that just is its own universe. And I will never shade fanfic, and a lot of companies and writers are perfectly happy and flattered to have writers build with their mental building blocks. But when you are making money off of something, it gets a little twitchier. Licensing and copyright becomes a bigger issue. So anyway, I'd been looking for something that would be an isekai series, and when he said something about 1950s, I was like, oh, I could work with that. So thank you, Forces, for putting that little seedling in my head. And it's brought it very quickly. And for new members, since it's only been one day since the last time I recorded this time, Zachary Aguilar, thank you for joining, and welcome. We now have the daily, almost daily, semi-daily, a few times a week now. Whoops. Sorry about the schedule, guys. How about we call it the increasingly inaccurately titled daily reading of the name changes. Starting with Flaws, who is now known as If You Give Me Your Heart, My Darling, know it will be cherished, safe, and spoiled by my love. That is beautiful, Flaws. Thank you. And Gang, I'm not sure what's going on with Gang right now, because his name is now, as an egg-laying mammal, the platypus can make its own custard. Oh. I mean, yes, eggs and cream, but that is just so wrong. So wrong. Platypus custard. Ugh. Anyway, let's see. We have Abel, who is now known as, in many cases, your most fervent rival is also your most ardent fan. And Lion in Winter is now known as I waited too long to drink my tea. Lion, gotta get on the ball. Sun Ant Sand. There is Sun Ant Sand, Infinite Moon. Don't be scared of losing people. Be afraid of losing yourself by trying to please everyone. Oh, Sandy, I love that one. I love that one a lot. Be who you are, and the right people will find you. Oh, Duke is now not going to be able to sleep after being called a good boy. Hey, Duke. Be a bad boy. Okay. I've got arts, and as much as I'm going to have to think about translating the beginning, actually there's a word there, I don't know, but as much as I have to think about translating the beginning, I certainly do recognize the end, and it's funny. Y si la luz de tu corazón se apaga, yo encenderé otra para ti. Jeje, usando fuego. So it's actually I don't know the beginning of that. I will light I light for you using fire. Let's and of course I recognize Corazon, but and if sweetie, and if the light in your heart goes out, I will light another one for you using fire. Art, I love you so much, baby. I mean, okay, being a pyromaniac isn't Art's entire personality, but it is a big part of it, and it's kind of funny. And thank you all to the bakers and pound cakes I haven't mentioned yet. The FPS player, Tatum Rosalie, Mirel, El Rabo, Mr. Rickles, Anand, Old Bean UK, the 7th of the Sun, Forces the Swaggy Llama, Cody, Pierce Tailish, Bellamy, and Tomberry Shuffle, and Christian Cleopatra. Beautiful souls, every last one of you, and I cherish you all. And on that note, thank you all very much for still being here. Thank you for your likes, for your comments, for your subscriptions, for your shares, for your good wishes, and for your attention, because I take advantage of it, don't I? Keeping you here all this time after the story is over. Well, I'll let you go now. Please be as good to yourselves as you are to me, and I will talk to you tomorrow.